live. It's Paint Trade Pipe Bomb, recording from the dungeon with new material. We have a backdrop now. We don't have to keep typing in the phone number for everybody. We're currently recording today in the Lifetime New York Met fans group. We're waiting for our viewers to come on. But in the meantime, the New York Mets slated to do so much this year. Unfortunately, they're tremendously banged up. Just to introduce our members, we have Helen in the middle.
Hello.
And we have Jimmy over here.
What's up, everybody?
So we welcome whoever it is that just stepped into the discussion. That we're going to be talking about the New York Mets. Stats galore. We also hope that our listeners call in. Obviously, the phone number is up there. We only have one line, so if you call through and you don't get through, be patient, and we'll be taking comments. So, guys, New York Mets.
I've got to say, totally underachieving this year, and injury plagued. We can't argue that.
It's like the MASH unit.
Yeah, basically.
So, Helen, what are your?
A lot of expectations were riding on this team, especially this season, and with the series of unfortunate events that have unfolded, not sure what else is there to say. And there happened a couple of Mets I've had in my mind. The other thing was my curiosity was what's with David Wright? I mean, he was one of the players I actually liked.
Well, the current rumor, and again, I've not seen a full blown out article on it as of yet, is that his injuries now are to the extent to what happened to Prince Fielder last year, that they're not allowing him to be able to perform actual baseball activities. Until I actually see the full blown article, I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
Yeah.
However, that is the rumor that's going around, and if that's the case, then, you know, as a professional, if you feel that you can't do it anymore, your capabilities have been diminished, and it's time for him to hang it up.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it too, but I think his time is up. He's not the David Wright from 2006.
Oh,
I think it's time for him to hang it up. I agree.
But you're also, again, looking 11 years later. 11 years for an MLB player's career. It's a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a position player. Usually, like, speed will cut down or, like, range will cut down to a player of that extent. However, it happens. I mean, you're getting older. You're not getting younger. I mean, sports medicine can only take you so far. And apparently the Mets don't have a great training staff anyway, because at this point,
Get rid of them.
you look at all of the injuries that are out, and just offense alone is nuts. How many offensive players we've lost already for the season?
Cespedes is a key loss.
Well,
Oh,
Cespedes is
boy.
obviously a key loss, but
That
he's
was a
on
big
his
one.
way back soon.
Cabrera's out with the torn ligament in his thumb.
This is where I have an argument with the Cabrera thing. The first time he hurt the thumb, they kind of rushed him back.
Yeah.
And
that's the
like,
worst thing
and as many times as I say things to people, and unfortunately that they happen, you rush them back too fast. How do you know that ligament wasn't damaged to begin with? So you're gonna rush him back. You have the minor league talent to bring up to replace him until he gets better.
Exactly. Call up. There's nothing wrong with a call up. I mean, this is why I try to follow as many minor leagues as I can in whatever sport that I follow.
Yeah.
Well, you had I still can't pronounce his name. Cicchini, I think is his name.
Cicchini, yeah.
Yes. You have him. You have Rosario. That in itself are two great call-ups right there. Reynolds is up now.
Yeah.
Although Reynolds' stats are not as great as, you know, they're blown out to be, or major league stats, obviously, because the minor league stats were really good.
Right.
But you have the players to bring up to fill these positions.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of like saying, like, Sanderson's just fucking.
Fix, it sounds like.
But even still,
Yeah, it's better than.
I understand it's not a fucking sprint to the finish. No, it's not. But at the same right, though, Cabrera is the is one of those spark plugs that you need in your lineup. You want him as healthy as possible.
Absolutely.
And over the last few years, his legs have broke down on him a lot, and that again happens as an older player.
Oh yeah.
So it happens. But you have pieces, and you just can't piece things together a lot of the times with your major league talent. You have to bring people up. And that's one of the problems with Cabrera.
It's not also, I mean, I'm sorry to say, it's not helping, I should say, that Our starting rotation is banged up. Our bullpen is fucking. Sorry, part of my language. Our bullpen is horrible. I mean,
Well, this is what I
putting
see.
a B-side team out there every day. You know,
But again,
What do you
last
expect
year
from
when this happened, okay, everything fell into place. In a
Oh,
way,
it
it got us
did.
to the wild card. I was happy that it was still a technical playoff run.
could it happen
Okay.
again? Is the question.
But now this is not happening like the end of the season. This is happening at the beginning of the season. So there's
Better
going to be
that
a
than the end
lot.
of the season where it's crucial.
But there's going to be a lot of more playoff baseball you have to work for in order to do it.
Oh, definitely.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
And the bullpen's a problem, so it's not that great.
it's a major problem.
And we have one of our viewers actually has commented. Jason Wertheimer is a really good friend of mine. I bowl with him all the time. Die hard, my fan. Absolutely, do not bring up Rosario. It's not the hitting; it's the pitching.
I see his
In
point.
a way, it
Yeah,
is.
point.
In a way, it is the fact of it's the pitching. But when you have a lead and you can't fight back to get the lead again,
Oh,
is
good
always a
grief.
problem.
Yeah,
Especially the late 8-9 innings where you need a run or two to keep
Ensure the
yourself
lead,
close
yeah.
or get that lead further up.
Mm-hmm.
Is usually always a bigger thing.
yeah.
We have crap loads of stats.
Oh, definitely.
We have the year-to-date stats. So Blevins is the best one in the pen at 188, 2-0. He's been in 24 games, 14 in the third pitching. Obviously, he's the lefty specialist out of the pen. Your next one after that is a pitcher that they signed. He's got a 3 ERA. He's been in 8 games, another reliever out of the pen, 12 innings. Howie Hirsch is the leader of the Lifetime Met Fans group, and he says starters can't get past 6 innings.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the problems, but also at the same rate, though, like
Closers.
it's
You need
it's-
quality closers.
It's not even the closers thing. At some points, our starting pitching throws too many pitches. Zach Wheeler is a perfect example.
Yeah,
He throws a lot of pitches.
and that's
80
not good,
pitches, 80 pitches going into the 5th inning is an extremely bad sign.
especially this guy coming off Tommy John surgery. I
And-
mean,
Oh,
come on, limit his
ugh.
pitching.
It's not. You know what? Limiting the pitching is cool, but when you have guys like now, Matt Harvey, who started out this season healthy, he is throwing a lot of pitches as well. DeGrom, same thing, throwing a lot of pitches. If you don't minimize your pitch count, you're not going to get past the 6th inning.
Nope.
And on top of that, you're going to tire yourself out a lot quicker.
Yeah,
Which means, guess what? That nasty bullpen that everybody yanks about is going to be there. And the bullpen, even though, and I listen to a lot of sports radio, Terry Collins said last week that the bullpen is not taxed. I obviously say it's a load of crap.
I disagree with that. He's over managing his bullpen. He's overusing them. What does it mean it's not?
I have been
taxed?
hearing a lot of terrible things about TC.
They're-
TC needs to go.
Well, that's
Yeah.
when we have our viewers on, and all of them, or we have 6 viewers on, and we welcome them all. Howie and Jason, thank you for coming on. I'm wearing the actual like cotton candy hat in tribute for the episode tonight. If nobody really knows what it is, that's one thing that I hope a lot of the members of this group we kind of let them. We want to let the Mets organization know exactly what the Met fans actually are saying, because as much as we have one of the largest fan bases in sports, and I'm not saying that it's not larger, let's say like the Yankees or if like the Giants or Jets or whatever, but it's almost like the Met fans are not being heard, and that's one of the reasons why we've created the show, and we want the voices to be heard.
I see it
In other
like
words.
this: as long as the Yankees are around, we will never be heard.
Well, we were heard.
what I said.
We were heard the last 2 years because we made the playoffs, where the Bronx team didn't.
Yeah,
And this year they have their youth movement, which is great and all. But at the same rate, though, if our team was at full strength, there wouldn't be as much trash talking going on either. I would think.
There's too many of that going around.
Yeah.
So, and Jason said 30 pitches in the first inning does not help. So he actually agrees with me on that.
He's
And
right.
we apparently lost a lot of people. I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway, but we digress on this whole thing. Going along with more stats, because I'm a man of numbers. The higher ERAs are what's kind of concerning to everything. Now, Kevin Plawecki is on this ERA list, but he's a position player filling in, so I don't look at that number, pretty much.
Right.
That's at an 18 ERA for 1 inning, by the way. But I'm not going to go into that number.
No.
And there are quite a few 3 ERAs. Familia is on the DL.
Oh,
He's pitched in 11 games since he came back. Wheeler is 2-2 with a 3.76 ERA for 7 starts.
Damn.
Okay? So if you look at starter numbers, minus Syndergaard being on the DL, your top starters right now are going to be Zach Wheeler and DeGrom, who's at 407.
Yeah.
And mind you, I mean, DeGrom hasn't had a lot of support either. Maybe that's not making him comfortable, but he's pitched 48 innings for the year already. I mean, he has given up 7 home runs, which is not Jacob DeGrom-like. It could be the possibility of maybe he's just holding back a little bit
Could be.
to try to save something. But again, that's a lot of thrown pitches. Harvey is 2-3 with a 5.56 ERA at 8 games. Only 45 innings through those 8 games.
Yeah.
So that's under 6 innings per game.
About.
That doesn't help you at all. They signed Tommy Malone, who's pitched in 2 games for them. He's 0-1 with a 5.9 ERA. And he gives up the long ball. He has a tendency to, at least. But for the Mets, he's only given up 2. He was in Milwaukee earlier this year. Gil Martin has had to spot start.
Yeah.
So that didn't help. But even Gil Martin's now and that's out of the pen, is a 13.5 ERA. You're not going to win with these numbers. You're not.
those numbers are brutal. From
Yeah, I'd say so.
Biggest problems Mets have is they don't have a set lineup at all. Well, then again, last year we really didn't have a set lineup either, because we had people flying in and out. You know, it was almost like having a shuttle from here to Vegas at some points last year. The highest ERA on this actual list, believe it or not,
frequent flyer miles.
and we've had, and according to this paper, we've had 28 different pitch. Oh no, that's a player shit. Sorry, my bad. No, I got the wrong paper. I got all the hitting shit. Pitching, why not? But the higher ERAs, Hansel Robles is on this list. His is like a fucking 1,000. Sorry for the language, it just pisses me off a little bit.
Understandable.
But, you know, these numbers, just the bullpen numbers are ridiculous. These are the year-to-date, by the way, that kind of kills everything. Welcome, Fior. Welcome, Steven. Steven's comment to everybody is Mets management are complacent in losing. It's obvious. There's no other explanation to starting guys out of position, batting Conforto in the 1 hole, playing Granderson at all, and refusing to acknowledge that Terry isn't cut out for this team, period. He mismanages the bullpen every single game, and that he can't throw Reed in 8 and Familia in 9. Well, this is my comment to the Reed 8, Familia 9 thing. You can't have your setup guy and your closer if you don't have a lead. And sometimes the leads are too close that you can try to piece everything together to get to Reed and Familia obviously when they're both healthy. I mean, Reed was a closer in Arizona, I believe.
I believe so.
And he's a closer, but again, you still have to be able to bridge the gap. Obviously, Salas is not cutting it all.
No.
I'm sorry.
He's got
Last year he was a stopgap. This year he's not. You have to find pieces. I mean, you have Edgin, which is great. Smoker's great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Yeah, they're really good.
I mean, they're both lefties, but if they can get you that bridge that gap over, why not?
Exactly. Better than nothing.
By the way, we do have the phone number posted up over here. You're giving her the bird ears. It's great.
Bunny ears.
We're having some fun on this show. We do have the phone number for anybody who wants to call in. We only have one line,
feel free
so
to say something.
rant, opinion, whatever. We'd love to hear your voices.
Don't let us be the only ones ranting about this team tonight.
Welcome, Christopher, for joining in. He's got some info on Rosario. Chris, if you want to call in,
Please do. There's the number.
phone number's right there. We have the phone line available. I mean, we only have one for now. We're working on multiple things. Everything's still a work in progress on this. You guys have any other comments? I mean, you guys got all of these hitting stats. I mean,
the way I see it with where are you? No, not that. Ah, here you are. Like the way I see it here, you got excuse me. You got guys like Jose Reyes, he's seasoned veteran, he's been around,
Oh, yeah.
He's been in the game a long time and everything. But you figured because of his, veteran status, he's been around long enough, you think he would know what to do. The guy's whiffing through friggin' balls that my grandmother could, get by him. You think he would know what he's doing. I say you ship him out too.
well, you know what? He was the spark plug last year. We got him back. He didn't start off great, but he was that big spark plug that we needed to be in the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the number, and I probably know it's probably changed since the last time I heard it, but everybody that was not leading off named Conforto was like 4 for 70 at one point. So
Ouch.
if you're not getting your leadoff guys on, and you're 4 for 70, and that was 3 different guys at one point,
Yeah.
that's not going to cut the mustard either.
No.
There are the high spots of Jay Bruce hitting, Conforto obviously, and I encourage all Met fans to vote him into the All-Star game, because first off, he's not a leadoff hitter, and he's doing phenomenal in the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
I think as long as there's not too much pressure on him, maybe he'll maybe, who knows.
We have a comment from Steven, who says, if you want to win baseball games, you have to play the best baseball players on the field. The Mets are not doing that. They have studs in the minors just waiting to rake and make an impact.
Yep.
We all are too worried about team control, and the guys are too young. Bryce Harper, remember him? He was 19. Bring Ahmed up and let's win some ball games. Okay, apparently the phone is not working.
Uh-oh.
We will check that out now. Okay, I have signal, so maybe it's just the signal issue, but there is signal on the phone, so if you want, give it a try again. Nick, how you doing? He says Harper was MLB ready at the age of 15. Sorry, Rosario is no Harper. But then again, Nick, you know what, though? You never know unless he gets the taste of the major leagues. That's my opinion.
Give him a chance. Why not? See,
How is she going to develop the guy if you don't
exactly.
give him a chance?
But you know what, though? At one point, I mean, we brought up a lot of our studs in our...
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
A lot of the studs in our minor league system were all pitchers at one point.
Yeah.
Now we actually have some hitters down there. Again, a few of them are hurt. A few of them are just getting back. Unfortunately, everybody wants to put a noose around Duda's neck. I say that loosely because that's what I do see all the time.
Eek.
I don't know. Don't know.
I mean, if we can do what we did with the pitching, total fire sale, and then develop our pitching from the minors with DeGrom and Syndergaard
Develop your
and
talent
Harvey,
from within.
develop your offense now. Do the same thing we did with the pitching with our offense now. We'll be a killer team again if we could do that.
But you know what, though?
Management's got to get their heads out of
we've
there,
already...
Oh, yeah.
See, my other thing is again, for the stretch that we had over the last 2 weeks, every game was not a home run ball. We manufactured runs by not hitting the long ball. And now we are going back to the long ball thing again, which is not going to score you runs either.
Small ball is the way to win games. That's it. Besides, defense, of course.
Chris Soto says the organization is following their internal policy of not promoting their top prospects into a situation where he's being viewed as the savior.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, but then you know
Very
what?
good
Then say that about Harper then, because he pretty much just raised that organization right out of the ground.
Yeah.
That he did.
And a lot of other-
we're not denying that.
A lot of other teams in their in the NL East are doing the same thing. I mean, Stanton is a great example of that,
Right.
and now they have their new left fielder.
Yeah.
He's great. He's been up. They brought him up straight from Double-A, and he's hitting home runs. You know,
Yeah.
Either
Flores,
they got lucky
one of
or
those
they
things.
drafted well. That could be one of the things.
but you know what though? Not a lot of top draft picks come out.
No, they don't. However,
They don't place.
However, the other thing to be careful with is you don't want to bring your talent up too early. That's the thing. So you want them to hone their talents in the minor leagues before they get called up. So with that said, I think there are a couple of teams that have erroneously brought up the young teams from their AAA, AA clubs, what have you, too early, and all of a sudden they freeze up and then back down to the minors you go.
I'm just testing it.
Oh, the line is being tested and it is going through. So anybody who wants to call, phone number is
Please
right
do.
here.
Please call. We'd
We're
love
all
to hear from
pointing
you.
because it's a big phone number. Yeah, but you know what though? There are times in this case where you have prospects up. Like Duda went on the DL. TJ Rivera came in. He was our pick. One of our, again, called up last year. He was another spark plug we had to get us to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We had the one game playoff against San Fran. I mean, it sucked ass because we lost 3-0. We had no offense against Baumgartner. But at the same rate, though, again, we had pieces down in the minors that we brought up that helped us get to the wild card game. In this situation, we're not going to know what we have unless you bring these pieces up.
That's right.
Sounds like desperate times for desperate measures, if anything.
Again, every team needs a spark.
Oh yeah,
If
no question.
I mean, every fan has their opinion about it. Maybe Rosario might be the time to bring him up.
They need to
Give him a 2-week run in the meantime. Cabrera's going to be on the DL anyway.
bring up
Exactly.
Tebow.
No, you know what? I will.
I was going to bring that up.
I'm
but
sorry.
you
I
didn't.
will kick someone in the nuts if they tell me to bring up Tebow. I'm sorry. I mean, they already decided they're promoting him from single A up to double, which I think is going to be hilarious because he's not going to be able to hit a damn lick there.
And then we put him back to single A, and we'll see him at MCU Park this summer.
We have more
Cyclones.
comments, by the way. Believe it or not, the club is not concerned about the Super 2 deadline as they have willingly ignored it in the past few years. Another comment from Chris stating Lagares, DeGrom, Thor, Flores were all promoted before the Super 2 in the past 2 years. Jonathan Mosca, we thank you for coming in on the viewing.
Hey, Mosca.
We need bullpen. That's really it because everybody is coming back and we're going to kick ass.
Let's not put the cart in front of the horse just yet.
Listen,
Yep.
you
Listen
brought
to this man.
Duda just got brought back what? He's been back what, a week?
At least.
I don't know what kind of training and like rehab he went through, but Duda has not been the same for the last 3 seasons.
Often
He always ends up making it back on the DL because of the back.
Oh boy.
And me with a
Take him out
back
to
problem, I
pasture
know
and
about
just let
that.
him go.
Oh my God. No, I was gonna say, people who come back from surgery are often not the same.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, and in other sports, I'm not gonna say what. There was a really popular player who underwent surgery, and after that, he was not the same again. So he's stuck in the farm system.
The hat's annoying me. sorry, the hat's annoying me.
Wardrobe change.
Yes, so going back to the black hat.
So again,
There was that.
It's more aerodynamic.
That
well,
works.
there you go.
And now you can see the whole hat in the shot.
Yes.
Well, again, as I said, there are some players who have gained the popularity of the fans, and I understand how fans feel, but at the same time, they have to understand that the needs of the team are much bigger, and it far outweighs the popularity of any one player.
Yeah.
This is some of the things I get very irked and irritated with, and I've argued this with a lot of fans from other teams as well.
Right.
I was like, I get that so-and-so is popular. I get that the fans love him. I swear, it's like they worship them like they're gods. But
I don't
But I think these fans forget that these players are human. They have a heart, they have a brain, they have a spinal cord, nervous system, what have you, like we do, except that baseball is their thing. Or whatever sports that they're in is their thing.
All right, we have more comments. The moment that the Mets can refine their footing and stabilize themselves, Rosario will be on the first plane over to be just one of the guys. Another comment from Jason Wertheimer. Sorry, Duda shouldn't play. Conforto, TJ Rivera, they both have to play every day.
Oh, that's too much. That's overkill.
Yeah.
In my view.
Listen, they're the perfect example. Now, again, it's not a Met. Okay? There's a man that played over 2,200 Major League games. His name is Cal Ripken Jr.
Whoa.
Okay?
From the past.
Now, again, pitching and position players in this day and age are being babied.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're being babied. The fucking pitch count error is a big thing.
Boy.
Okay? Oh, a guy needs a blow. Cal Ripken Jr. played 2,200 consecutive games in the majors.
That's got to be in the Guinness World
Okay?
Book of World
Did Cal
Records.
Ripken Jr. need a blow over how many years? He had his blow in the off season. He rested every day. He did his training, whatever. Okay? One of our viewers has already said it. If you're not cutting the mustard, you're not playing. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
No excuses.
That's
I
the
say it-
attitude everyone should have.
I say it now as a Met fan. If we were getting offers for Curtis Granderson, we should have took those. We were trying to shop Jay Bruce. We obviously didn't get rid of him. Granderson would not be hitting $150 now for us if we did not trade him.
No.
This is one of the problems. We held on to a guy that maybe we held on to too long.
Yeah.
We could have sent him on his retirement tour to like the American League or something.
I think it's a sentimentality that fans have, and I understand that because me being a sports fan, I do understand the sentimentality of various fans. I get it, but other than that, they're going to have to get out of that mentality and remember that the whole picture is a lot bigger than the sentiments.
Baseball today has been pussified. There's no way. There's no way to say about it.
no
Jason
choice.
Wertheimer is actually, and again, I've known him for the longest time. Actually agrees that they shouldn't be playing every day, but they should be in the lineup more, and that they take
That makes
more
more
time
sense.
off than they normally have in the
Yeah.
past.
Like, I know it's a long time ago, but look at the pitchers back in the day. I mean, I'm talking about back in the day. How many complete games did they have in their career because they toughed it out and they played
Oh, yeah.
hurt? They played with a busted elbow, with blisters on their
Infielders
hands.
back in the day and pitchers and outfielders themselves played with broken fingers.
Exactly my point.
You know, like, I mean, it's hard to grip a ball when you have a broken digit,
Yeah.
But they did it, though.
or pulled hamstrings, or pulled muscles. Those were the Iron Men back of the day. Now, if a guy stubs his toe, he's out 15 days because he cracked a toenail. Give me a break.
Oh.
Yeah.
You wrap the toe and you get the hell back out there and you play. People wrap their ankles and go out and play. Football players do it all the
Ace
time.
bandages exist for a reason, people.
I mean,
Maybe they're just getting too soft. I don't understand. Like, guys, again, back in the day, Jason points out, pitchers used to throw 150 pitches a game.
he's right.
They pitched 13, 14 innings a game.
He's right. I mean,
Where did baseball get so soft that we have a guy who throws 5 pitches? Oh, I'm done.
let's go back to 2004, the infamous Bloody Sock game. He pitched that whole entire game with whatever happened. What exactly happened with Schilling's ankle? I just know about the Bloody Sock.
He had surgery done on it,
and he still pitched.
and he still pitched.
because he was one of the last actual men in
The
baseball.
bloody sock of the World Series, which it was.
ALCS, actually.
But
against the Yankees.
but either way, though, it was still technically they claimed it was a bloody sock. For all I know, it looked like red paint. But that could just
Red paint. What was
Oi.
he painting his socks?
So we have another viewer came in. Spiro, welcome to the thing.
What's up?
He says he loves Terry's old philosophy. If you don't hit it all, you sit. If you hit, you play.
He should go back to his philosophy when he was managing the Angels. Play or sit.
We also have a mention of Dominic Smith, the first baseman.
Yeah.
I like his skills. I still think there's a few things he needs to touch up on.
Yeah, he needs a little, finessing.
But he's also probably going to be one of the guys coming up soon, too.
I don't mind.
Because there's only so long you could ride Duda.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
And I still say, and you know what? I hate to say it. Why don't you throw Duda on the bench and just put TJ Rivera there all the time?
He could do it.
Apparently the kid can hit. He should be playing every day. Not leading off, but in a viable spot where, on base percentage is a key. And that's another thing a lot of people don't go with is the on base percentages,
No.
which is I think is usually a problem.
On base percentages, slugging percentages.
Again,
One of the most two overlooked stats in baseball.
and he's a great fielder too.
Yeah.
TJ.
TJ?
So again, we're still waiting for the phone line's been fixed. We're just waiting. If anybody wants to call in, air your opinion. First Amendment. In fairness, pitchers weren't throwing an average velocity of 95 outside of Nolan Ryan.
Ooh.
Well, Howie, now that Freeman went on the DL, maybe they might actually trade Duda to Atlanta. Get Big Sexy back.
Yeah. Why, so he can get cursed at again?
Oh, that'll
Why,
be interesting.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, jeez.
Mike, my brother, shout
Yeah,
out to him.
yeah. Well, he's only calling himself out. I'm sorry. You know what? The argument I have about the whole the MPH, so to speak, for the back of the day, guys did throw hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bob Gibson threw hard. Howie brings up Tom Seaver.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
I remember that one.
I'm pretty sure Don Drysdale threw 90 plus at some point.
Back in the day, dude, you even, especially in the 80s, you even had closers who were throwing gas. Look at Eckersley.
Oh, yeah.
Eckersley.
Yeah, but Eckersley was a starter at one point, and then they moved him to the pen.
When he was
But
moved to the pen.
these guys were not babied.
Nope.
These were the true guys that say, okay, you know what?
These
I
were
broke a nail.
troopers.
I broke a nail. I stuck my finger in some frickin' pickle juice, and I went back out, and I pitched.
Finish the game, yeah.
I pitched. That's it.
Yeah,
I was
well,
done. The babying now, like a guy's got 90 pitches, and you're like,
That's it.
you're
90
done.
pitches,
Yeah, you
you're
know
done.
what? We don't want to burn you out. But at the same rate, though, if you got a guy coming back from injury, however, then
can be
maybe it
different.
might be a difference. But I think that's, again, Collins did that at the beginning of the year. Oh, you just came back from injury. We're going to throw you 100 pitches
Yeah.
and then see what happens after that. That I don't agree with.
Well, but from a medical perspective, though, you kind of don't want to re-injure or aggravate an old injury. Who knows? I'm not sure.
But it also,
It's a case-by-case thing.
this is, and we're talking Mets, obviously. But
I
if you
know.
go back to the incident with the Nationals a few years ago
Which one?
with Strasburg,
Oh,
where they shut him
who I was on.
down. Well, they shut him down early, where they shut him down prematurely,
Yeah.
right before the playoff, and then when they got to the playoffs, they stunk.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to end up happening to Wheeler.
Yeah.
That's going to end up happening to Wheeler. I guarantee you.
Not
We're going to
good.
shut him down instead of saying that he should have been in the pen to start the season. Being the fact that we had so many guys starting caliber that we could have given him the length of the season to do it, and if we felt if he was good enough, he could have pitched in the postseason.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen either.
I mean, this may sound nuts, but I think Smoker has starter material.
I don't think he has the stamina.
You don't think so?
No. I
it's
mean,
my
he's-
opinion.
he's the long he is the long the long innings guy out of the pen for being a lefty.
long inning guy, so he could be a starter.
But you only want to pitch him 3 to 4 innings.
Mm.
That would
The
also
way
go back
Collins
to
is, you never know.
that would go back to the whole we're not getting starters past the 5th inning, which is again the issue because our starting pitchers are throwing too many pitches.
Yeah.
I agree with the different mindset, but at this time, if you're trying to build up a guy's repertoire, if you put him in that limited innings role in the pen, and you've always said you're only throwing him 100 innings for the season,
Yeah.
then the bullpen would have been the place to go. And Jason said, no way, different mindset in the pen. Regardless, you still have to build up your repertoire, major league caliber.
Yeah.
That would be my reasoning for him to have been in the pen. I mean, it's horrible to know that Lugo went down after the WBC. That stunk. Matt's beginning of the season, his elbow is sore, so to speak. I guess what they're saying is he's
But
never
how
going
long is he going to be out?
He's
for?
never going to be pain free though. That's the thing.
No.
Matt's is never going to be pain free, and he's going to have to learn how to pitch like that way.
The only thing is, oh yeah, that was the other thing I was going to ask. How long is Max going to be out for?
They are both in rehab starts as of right now.
Oh boy. So
They
it could
they
be
went through their extended spring training, both
Right.
Lugo and Matt's.
Uh-huh.
So timetable, I'd say 2.5 to 3 weeks before they come back.
Sounds about right.
But is the hole going to be too big to dig out of when they
That's
come
going
back?
to be an excellent question.
Because no question, Tommy Malone is not a great pitcher. He's a stopgap pitcher for now. That's that part. But now Syndergaard built up all that muscle. That's how he tore himself up, which was not good.
And he refused the MRI. I remember that.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
If baseball is your job, you do everything in your power to make sure you're able to do your job.
Exactly. If
Okay,
this was caught early, then would have been different.
More comments. Smoker is being stretched out as a starting pitcher as we speak. Jason says half the season in the pen, and then you want him to start. He'll be out of the game in the 4th inning. Howie's saying less than 2 weeks tops for Lugo and Matt.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Hello, Elaine. How are you? Chris Soto says he actually used to be a starting pitcher before he fell out of baseball and retired
Oh.
for Smoker.
Oh, that's interesting.
So this is why we hold these things, because information like this needs to be out to all of our fellow Met fans. Are there any like weird stats that pop out to you, like hitting wise, pitching wise, besides the fact that Hansel Robles stinks ass right now?
Yeah, he's terrible. Another one. Get him out of here. What would you say your opinion is on how the excuse me, the infield is doing offensively? You know,
Flores has to be. See, this is the way I looked at it last year, and again, it's the same issue again this year. If Flores is going to play, he has to play consistently. He has a little bit of pop off the bench.
Yeah.
However, with the injuries that we have right now, he should be playing.
I don't know when.
Even if he alternates, let's say with Reyes at third,
Yeah.
at this point, he's hitting righties phenomenal. He's over 340 batting average against righties,
Yeah.
and that's as of last night's game.
Really.
So maybe at that point, Reyes is not great batting average right now from either side of the plate.
No.
But in that case, if you feel that he's hitting righties better, obviously Flores is playing more. Maybe use Reyes as a speed option off the bench.
Huh.
Late inning speed.
Reyes, his legs are broken down.
But you know what? He's still faster than 3/4 of the guys on our team. Do you? Let me ask you this, and this is a question to the group. Okay, this is a question to the group.
I'd love to see what
Now
they're
we
going
have
to
viewers in the room. Okay, we have viewers in the room. Late inning. Okay, now dude is in the regular lineup.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you want running from second base when you need that run on the line? Do you want dude on second base, or do you want Reyes on second base?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know, because I've seen Duda hustle before.
But I've also seen both of them get picked off at second base,
Yeah.
which is another issue with the base running is another issue. But again, when you need that speed at second base, you're going to want Duda there, or you're going to want Reyes there?
Reluctantly, I pick Reyes.
Okay, then there's your speed off the bench. He's not hitting. Reyes is not hitting. it's sad to say he's not hitting at this point. And batting average wise, season to date right now, dude is hitting 220. Okay, and Jose Reyes is hitting a $194. Neither one of them are really at this point functionable.
The 194 is making me cringe as a baseball fan.
More comments of Flores gets consistent at bats, he will hit. Reyes was supposed to be our super utility guy.
I would have put so much.
And right now, everybody is
on
posting
Reyes'
saying that
shoulder.
you obviously want Jose Reyes running late innings than let's say a Lucas Duda.
Who would you? All right, now this goes for us and everybody in the group as well. Who would you say is a total waste of a roster spot currently on the team?
Waste of space.
That I'm telling you, that list could fill up real fast.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That list
This
will.
is
I
definitely
would
gonna
love
get
to
us
see
a-
what the viewers are going to say.
As a member of this group, I have seen every player on the team have some type of torture thing listed
Oh boy.
for each one of them. And that was not only from
Whee!
last year, but this year as well. Chris, I totally disagree with Granderson being on second base. I'm sorry.
I think Granderson's a waste of a roster spot.
Granderson is not as fast as Reyes. Granderson is
I
not
don't
as
think he's
fast
been
as
the same
Reyes.
as he was, if anything.
Jason Wertheimer says Robles should be shipped out on a boat.
Oh!
Jason, I agree
Oh,
with you
boy.
wholeheartedly.
Mind you, that was one of the best guys out of the bullpen last year.
Was.
Was
This is
is
why
the operative
This is
word.
again why Major League bullpens are not always dependable season by season.
No, it isn't.
How about Familia?
Oh boy.
You know what?
There's been
I
some
give
drama with him. I
right
think.
now. I give Familia the pass. I give him the pass.
Okay.
My reasoning for that is that he's not been around a whole season. He didn't pitch very much in the spring training.
Yeah.
And he's still trying to feel his way back through. Now he has the clot in his shoulder.
Oh no. Yeah.
So now you can't even mention Familia on the list.
Nope. He has to be on blood thinners for a while.
Wait,
and
he didn't make the list?
No, he didn't make the list. I'm sorry.
No. No, and he shouldn't, with good reason. Blood clots are not something you play around with.
True.
We actually have one a comment in here that I really thought was is actually popping out to me right now. Elaine says, "Don't kill me, but Lagares is a waste."
He's marginal. He's inconsistent.
I think he's on the fence, it sounds like.
Yeah.
From what I've
He's
seen,
borderline
from
waste.
what I've seen though, Lagares has been hitting the ball hard everywhere. The hits are just not full. So, for a guy who's also now stuck on the bench because of your starting lineup in the beginning of the year was Granderson, Bruce, and Cespedes. So he's technically at that point the fifth outfielder,
Yeah.
and is only getting the chance to really play now because Cespedes is hurt.
Yeah.
Granderson sucks. And Bruce is holding it down in right
I feel
field,
as
so
though
that's the only reason
Granderson-
why he's there.
I feel as though Granderson has not been the same for quite a while.
He always somehow starts off slow and gets streaky, like the same way Bruce is. Bruce is a streaky hitter. Granderson is almost the same way. The only difference now is that Granderson's swinging at the fences for everything and not taking the walks like he was the last 2 years.
Oh, jeez.
That's why he was a good leadoff hitter the last 2
He got
years.
too ahead of himself this season. Too much. Too ahead of himself.
More comments. A wasted roster spot right now is Matt Reynolds,
Whoa.
one of the young kids.
Woo.
We have
I
another
wouldn't
comment
shut
here.
down the youth that quickly, honestly, because you never know what they may have.
Reynolds has been up on and off for the last year and a half.
Okay.
If you haven't cut the mustard in now, you might want to try to tie cut with him. But again, you need bodies.
Yeah.
And if Matt Reynolds
Unfortunately.
is going to be a 200 hitter and play awesome defense, I'd probably take that.
Healthy bodies. We need.
Yes, healthy bodies.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
ones that have been put together by duct tape.
Ouch.
Chris says Granderson is a much smarter base runner than Reyes. That's why I chose him. Again,
Okay,
we're all
that's
entitled to
fair.
our opinions.
Yeah, that's
This
a
is
fair
why we have
argument.
the phone number. We want to hear you if you want. Grandy wakes up in August. Well, then maybe we should just have his calendar on August every day,
Oh boy.
so that he.
We should not play him until August.
Oh, that might imagine that though,
Yeah.
because now you can't get a bag of balls and a box of bats for him now.
Oh, good grief.
He's not hitting well.
Oh, like I
Granderson is
said.
not hitting well.
Like I said, he hasn't been the same for a while, I feel.
Let's see. What's Granderson's numbers on this paper here? As of today.
Oh, here we go.
I don't have those numbers. You have those numbers. What's Granderson's batting
so
average?
Professional now.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
it's professional. What's Granderson's
Sorry.
numbers here?
Oh,
Let's
that
see.
was-
He killed the mic, people.
I thought I accidentally bumped into you. I bumped into the microphone.
Okay, let's see.
I really did
Granderson,
not-
Granderson,
that,
Granderson.
No. Remember,
Curtis
I control
Granderson
five.
has had 132 at bats for 38 games.
We look at last 7.
No, this is
Year
the
to date.
year to date.
All right. Here we go.
Okay,
What the hell?
his batting average is a buck
That looks
59.
weird. Why does that look weird?
Ah,
Oh, sorry.
it's upside down.
Sorry about that.
Granderson's hitting a buck 59.
Oh, that's nauseating.
Ow! I
Okay?
thought 1.94 was bad enough. Oof.
Now,
You know what? I'm gonna pull out something that we've seen in the newspaper.
wait,
Okay.
before you even say this one,
Uh-oh.
okay? Matt Reynolds has been in 10 games, 13 at bats,
Mm-hmm.
which is really not a sample size for a major league player who's not starting.
Oh.
Okay, 13 at bats. He's hitting a buck 54.
Huh.
Nauseating.
Oh, boy. I'm surprised you're not puking from that one.
I'm trying to hold it down.
Aw.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
Chris Soto says Reynolds because TJ Rivera has a similar defensive profile but is a superior hitter.
All right.
I'm not so sure if I would go that far.
I got
Not for anything. Again, the numbers don't lie.
No,
Okay,
they don't.
the numbers do not lie. Let's see, TJ Rivera. He's not on this pitching list. This is the pitching one, by the way. Hold on. TJ Rivera.
What are we looking for?
Uh,
Rivera?
TJ Rivera has played in 26 games, 82 at bats,
13
and is
runs.
hitting 268.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a, excuse me.
Who doesn't strike out as much either, by the
But
way.
he does have a 341 on base percentage. He's got a 415 slugging percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
And 22 hits out of the 82 at bats.
Oh.
Okay. Now, question is, since we are on the Rivera boat, Rene Rivera, keep or dump?
Keep.
Absolutely.
Because we got him for basically like a carton of peanuts from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, 71,
That must have been a steal.
71 at bats, 23 hits. I mean, it sounds a little marginal, but he's not an everyday catcher. It's good for him. It's really good for him. And me personally, I'd keep him too. Let's see, what do we got here with Rivera? He is also batting 324.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
That sounds like a pretty good pickup.
yeah,
and it's another guy that came out of the minor league system.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's even better.
See,
The other guy that
we're
came
sort
out,
of bilingual here.
Renee, you keep him. He is
I could
proven
go
and he
poly-
wants to stay
go
up
on
this
you.
year.
Trust
Is
me.
is a comment from Jason Wertheimer.
Said what again?
He says, Renee, you keep him. He has proven he wants to stay up this year.
Yep.
Very
Sounds
good
like
point,
it.
Jason.
He earned it.
Now you look at the catching carousel though.
Oh, boy.
Rene Rivera, Darno,
Oh, yeah.
Plawecki. Should we have not tried to sign Matt Wieters in the offseason?
That's a tough question.
See, I'm on the fence with Darno. Like,
Yeah.
one day he's phenomenal. The next day you want to take him out back and beat him.
Well, the only great thing about Darno to start this year, even though this is the first time he's been on the DL, is that he actually equaled his home run totals and RBIs from last year
Huh.
in a
Alright.
quarter of the season.
Okay, and there's still plenty of season to go.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
But he's got to be
still
on the
young.
field to do anything.
True, but the season's still young, all things considered.
And it's always the same injury too. It's the wrist.
Yeah.
Oh,
He always
boy.
gets messed up on the catching wrist.
I don't know what he's doing with that wrist.
No innuendo on that, people. Sorry.
No, none.
Oh, let's keep it rated G. Thank you.
He did say. Jason did also say we should have tried. Travis is always hurt, and I actually do agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I had contract wise was that I wouldn't have given Wieters the money.
How much would you have given Wieters and how long though?
First off, I think he wanted like five and 75 or something like that.
5 and
I think that was the original number.
For how long? A season?
Five years, 75 million.
Oh.
But his numbers are also a little bit on the decline too, and I don't have those
Oh.
numbers. But
That kind of.
but then again, he's another one that
I'm not sure if it's worth that.
that hurt his back, so that kind of put him on a little bit of a decline.
That's right.
But then,
Oh, wow.
but then again,
Back injuries are
you're not always looking at the
something to play
offensive
with.
part of him. You're looking at the defensive part of him too.
Yeah.
And he works well with pitchers.
Yeah, he is a very hard worker.
He's not a great frame guy.
Mm-hmm.
And those are numbers again that a lot of people don't look at. It was framing pitches, but at the same rate, he's a pitcher's best friend.
So sign him for a good contract. Have Rivera as our backup, and send everybody else away.
More comments. Starting pitching posted a 2.89 ERA with Rivera behind the plate, and a 4.48 ERA with Darno. Wieters also could play first base, so Renee would have been catching anyway.
Renee behind the plate
And Wieters at first.
I like that.
Which is also the same thing that
idea.
Buster Posey does.
Yeah.
They're trying to stretch out Posey's career by having him play first base.
I'm sorry. I'm a Buster Posey fan. I can't. Help. I love that guy. He's such a. Such
If we
a
had
good
on our
player.
team, then it would be great.
5 years ago, I would have.
I know you say
considered
5
signing
years
him.
now. He hits home runs in bunches.
I know, but
In
And if-
spurts?
I feel he's getting up there though.
Listen, he tortured the Mets the series that they just played.
Yeah. It's,
Ooh.
When there was a home run to be hit, Buster Posey was at the plate.
yeah. I know.
He did it at Citi Field 3 games in a row.
He loves playing.
He homered against the Mets 3 games in a row.
He loves playing at Citi Field. You could tell. He is our modern day Chipper Jones. Really.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Larry.
To
Larry
comment
Jones.
to comment on this one, and I laughed I joked about this before the season started. Spiro says it's getting around to that time where we sign Kelly Johnson and go on a postseason run. For that matter, we might as well just bring back Uribe too and put him on the bench. You know, I mean, because that's just the way that thing works. Kelly Johnson, Uribe, get them both back. Let's start up a revolution. It's true though.
No, I'm kidding.
It's true though.
Sorry.
Every year we go on a postseason run. Kelly Johnson's on our bench. Juan Uribe's on our bench. For that matter, maybe we should just get like Pablo Sandoval and have him on our team.
The
Put
panda?
Put the Panda at third.
Oh my-
Every team he goes on goes to the playoffs. All those years when he was with the Giants, they went to the World Series.
Sorry.
Oh,
And
she's
won.
killing the mics, people.
Ah,
Yo, don't forget where Sandoval is now.
He's
Come
in Boston.
on.
He's in Boston. It's only a 2.5-hour car ride. Let him come down. Why not? There are certain players you put on every team and they make the playoffs. Let's get them
What is
both
he,
back.
what is he, the proverbial rabbit's foot?
Listen, he could be the New York Panda for a change instead of the San Francisco or Boston Panda.
New York what?
The Panda.
the New York Panda.
Well, we can match him
Which
up with.
New York panda?
We can match him up with the pandas for the Bronx Zoo.
Wow.
I love that one.
Wow.
It's getting out of control,
All
people.
business.
It's getting out of control. This is why we need you guys to call in. We urge you guys to call in. Phone number's right there. And we only have about another 5 more minutes anyway before we say goodnight, and then we'll post this video again once it reaches YouTube, and everybody in the group can watch it so they know how the pipe bomb works. Oh, you mean Uribe? Oh, yeah, I don't know. Well, I said at the beginning of the year we should have just had them to begin with.
Right?
Uribe and Kelly Johnson, both of them at the same time. I don't know.
Feel bad for Kelly Johnson though. I mean, he had to go through his life with a girl's name.
Really?
What?
We rag on Kelly Johnson because he's got a girl's name?
Yeah. Would you like having a girl's name?
What, like Rachel? Which would be like the
Yeah, but what about those
alternative.
unisex names like Pat
How
or
did you
Chris?
put in my water?
I don't know. She did it. She's the one that butchered the water.
No, I bought this myself.
Bats 220 beast in the postseason is that about Coughlin or is that about Panda? Pablo Sandoval. Where did he come up with the panda thing anyway?
I think it's because he's a big guy.
Is that
or
from the San
something.
Francisco Zoo?
I think
I don't
it looks
know.
like he ate a panda.
He just died. He dyed his coat to be like a normal color.
I mean, that's what I would think. It looks like he ate a panda.
But he's big though. He's not a stick thin.
But he hits bombs.
I know.
He puts 480 pounds behind his hit. That's why. And behind his swing.
480. Oh my God.
No.
If
All right,
he's
so this is
480,
gonna-
how could he be running
all right.
bases as he does?
So this is going to be the last question to the group, and I guarantee you the people that are in this group right now are going to strangle each other over this.
oh boy.
If you were to make a trade with any MLB team running right now, who would you trade for and why?
Wow.
I think I'm going to have.
If I had the music, the Jeopardy theme would be playing right now. But who do you think you could trade for to right the ship, so to speak?
Does it have to be cap compliant?
There's again,
Or it's just a theoretical.
we're not
question?
worrying. We're not worrying about the luxury tax at this point
Okay.
because we're nowhere near close to it.
Sorry, I was just curious.
But at the same right, though, like
Okay.
again to the group and everybody who's watching, who would you trade for? Give me a reason why.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. You know, I can give you a longer list of who I would trade away from the Mets. I'm not really 100% sure about who's out there who could help right the ship. But I don't
Yo
know.
Jimbo is the comment in the room from your brother.
Yo! Hey.
Getting back to the roster spot thing, what moves would you make to add guys who are not on the 40-man roster right now? That's what I just asked.
Exactly.
Chris, give me your opinion. Who would you trade for right now, using any tool on the team to bring spark to this team? And
I
he
have
then
one
says,
person in mind,
I'm
not-
DLing Montero and adding Pill. I'm DLing Reynolds and adding Desmond Jennings,
Ooh.
former D-Ray,
I can
or
see
Ray,
Desmond
or
Jennings.
however they say it.
Tampa Bay Rays or
Trade Robles, he sucks. We've already said that. That was earlier in the episode. Sorry. We've been on for almost an hour now, and the Robles thing has been there. Him and his like 30 ERA. Austin Romine from the Yankees would be available. Give them Duda. Works for both teams. Solidifies us at catcher.
Okay, either that or Brian Cashman's gonna have to be pissed drunk out of his knockers to do that.
To honestly tell you, what was the catcher that went to the Pirates from the Yankees? Thank you. The Jeopardy theme is now playing. Really? We want answers. Come on, we're doing that. Okay, enough.
Okay, cut it.
All right, personally, okay. So then I'm
falling
gonna
on deaf ears.
So I'm gonna ask. So I'll ask you this question, and this was on MLB yesterday.
See,
Would you shop the farm for a player like Mike Trout?
Probably.
And as
I'm
much as you hate to say it at this point, let's say a guy
I'm
like
all about the farm team.
a player like let's say a Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Harper's asking too much, though.
Yeah.
Again, stopgap. This is what I'm saying. If you want a spark, an instant spark, would you trade pieces for a player like Mike Trout?
Yeah.
How much would you give up? Is the question. How much would you give up for a player
What price
like
are you willing to pay
of the
for that?
of the caliber of a Mike Trout?
Well, definitely one of the starting five would go. You know they would ask for one of them.
Who?
Harvey.
Oh wow.
Oh, the guy that nobody wants to pay even $100 million for now at this point, because now he's become a total blown out head case, and we're stuck with him.
Yeah.
Till next year.
You're being generous. He's a basket case.
Desmond Jennings is usually in Vegas. Francisco Cervelli. How about him? Would you take him?
Maybe. That's a hard.
He's not an upgrade. At this point right now, he's not an upgrade over Rivera. But then you don't have
Be
to
on the
worry.
same level as
You don't have to
Aurora
worry
Rivera.
about Darno getting hurt all the time and
No.
Plawecki not hitting.
And yeah, I guess. I
And Cervelli's not turned out to be a bad catcher.
I just personally don't like him.
Why
But
is
if he
that?
held, long story.
Okay.
Well, I hated him when he was in Pinstripes, but that's another story. But if he can help the team, then yeah, why not?
Spiro says Duda would be a beast on the Yankees and much better than Bird.
Oh, great.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
Well, Duda would have the shorter porch
Probably, but
for about 60 games.
Which is why Granderson was batting 400, hitting 45 home runs when he played there.
In the bandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Chris also says acquiring a Brewers catcher Jeff Bandy. And an FYI, you're not getting Trout without Syndergaard.
Syndergaard, maybe, yeah.
Oh wow, that's a hard bargain.
I don't know. You want to give up Syndergaard for Trout, though?
No, personally, I wouldn't go that far because Syndergaard's one of the hot hands.
At this point right now,
Even though he's on the DL right now, I get it, but still, when he comes back, though, we'll see.
but Syndergaard did it to himself.
I know.
And this was another ESPN article that they had out. By bulking up him and Cespedes in the offseason is the reasons why they're on the DL right now. He put on 17 pounds of muscle, Syndergaard. 17 pounds!
Muscle outweighs fat by
That's
2
one.
pounds.
That's one of my bowling balls that he put on himself. Extra muscle.
Oh boy. Wonder how much protein shakes he chugged.
I don't want to
brother.
know about your balls on Syndergaard.
I said bowling balls. I didn't say
He did specify, to be
sexual
fair.
ones. Thank you very much. The anger episode's coming later.
Oh, this is gonna be a real treat.
So, we've been on for an hour. We thank everybody in the Met group that's been viewing. Any final comments, Helen?
Well, all we can say is wait and see. Develop your talent. Be patient with them. Don't hurry so much to try to get up to the top so fast.
Jim?
Just please make the playoffs this year. That's all I want.
Playoffs, or do you want the ring?
As of right now, let's at least make it to the playoffs first. Then we'll talk ring.
Yeah, the man's right. Never put the cart before the horse. This is why we
There you
get
go.
along so well.
I think so.
So we thank all the viewers that have come in, commented, and we'll be posting the video a little later on after it gets put on YouTube, and it'll be for all of the viewers to watch. We fully expect comments. And one last comment, Spiro puts, Julio Teheran could use a change of scenery, and he's pitching so poorly. And he's a Met killer. That's on top of it all.
Okay.
So, we leave everybody on that comment. We hope everybody has a good night. If anybody wants to message me about any other future recordings on the channel, we're going to look to do maybe once a month, and hopefully everybody gets to watch it. So, on behalf of...
Also, remember, the phone number works.
And the phone number does work. Even though we had one missed call and that was it. I don't know.
That was the test call.
That was a test call. So, on behalf of Helen and Jim, I'm Ricky. Everybody, have a good night.